Okay, we are live on
Perfect.
YouTube. We hope that some members would come on and chat with us. The more times we go live, the more, you know, they'll be able to see what thus says the Spirit. So I am going to minimize that. And I thought my cat was in here. I felt a presence, like something touched my arm just now. Wasn't the cat, so must be some of our angels. That's okay. We know that all the help we can get come in peace. Yes. So today has been interesting. I read my horoscope because this is the month of Scorpio season. And I always read my horoscope pretty much daily. But it said the more you try to do any kind of progressive work, you might as well forget it. You need to enjoy, sit back, like relax, kick back, and just put things to the side for today and then back at it tomorrow. So I haven't gone on the website and did anything on there today. I decided to follow it. And that was kind of how I was feeling anyway. Just like doing whatever I wanted to do. Till me and you got on the phone. And I was like, hey, kicking back. But yeah, it's definitely been one of those days starting from the morning. So
Yeah, exactly.
about you.
Yeah, same thing. I told you I was, working with my cards
Mm,
and I basically kind of received the same message, like when you're in transition and when you're going into a new space or, just a new place, you're proceeding somewhere, you know what I mean?
yeah,
It's like, lay back somewhat and enjoy the process. Like, don't try and control the outcome,
right.
so much. You know what I mean? So, and that's the hard part. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
absolutely. Or if you try, like there's a distraction. I said, okay, well, I'm not supposed to do anything. Maybe I'll do a little meditation or whatever. As soon as I got like 10 minutes in and I was like really out, my phone rang. And you know how it's on the headphones, it's actually louder when it goes to the phone.
Mhm.
I was like, duh. And it was just my daughter. Hey, mom, what you doing? I was like, oh, babe, I ain't doing nothing.
Right, right. Well, at least it was a good distraction.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yes, yes, yes. I love
You
you.
don't know, you don't never know what you're gonna get when the phone rings if you answer it. You
Absolutely.
never really
Yeah,
know
yeah,
what's happening on the other side. You know what
yes.
I'm saying?
You know
So,
how the adaptation of caller ID, some you see that name flash up there, you be like, oh, you get a
um,
minute, a second to prepare yourself or whatever.
right.
If you utilize it that way, that's how I pretty
Right.
much have categorized it. Lift my chair up a little bit. There we go. Dropping all kind of stuff. I said I'm dropping all kinds of stuff. One of those days.
I always got to sit my tea behind me because I'm always so afraid that I'm gonna spill it on my cards and on
I
my
know,
books and
or your keyboard or something. Oh my goodness. I got this book today. I had ordered. Oh no,
oh,
my
the camera.
hold on. Oh, this silly camera. Hold on, sis.
Hmm. That's the Tonya 23.
Yes. Always something, never a dull
Word.
moment.
We
But
in there? We back in there?
trying to. That's
Yeah.
Let's see. Here we go.
I should have sent the link to a couple other people.
Yeah.
You think I should?
Sure,
Just
go
have a
ahead.
couple people in mind.
Gotta do.
All
I'm
right.
still working this.
All right. Let me send it real fast.
Ugh.
Oh, it clicked me
I
out?
command you, camera. You will not act up
Oh.
again tonight, or I will smack you. You listen to the goddess. That's how we have to do things. You better not act up, camera.
There you go.
Look, I'm back frozen.
Are you? It's like, yeah, whatever.
Oh, God, I didn't pop it right.
Is there anybody else I want to send this to?
Let's go.
Okay. I can't think of any. Oh, one more person. I got one more person. Boom. Boom. All right. I'm in there. All right. I'm back.
All right, hold up. I swear I don't want to have to plug in this other camera. Oh, man. Technical difficulties.
It happens.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting a new one because this joint is definitely under warranty. HP Windows, y'all messing up big time.
That's all right. That's just showing how much we're gonna go in tonight. You know,
Exactly.
it's showing, you know what I mean,
If I
what
have
the
to
night
be
is gonna
on
word up. It's showing what the night is gonna be, you know what I mean?
No, it just is what it is. Hold on. I'm trying to
Technical
work it.
difficulties.
Yeah.
Where are we at?
Still working with it, sis.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and pull it apart, baby girl. We ain't gonna slide. I'll still be working on it.
Mm-hmm.
You can hear me at least.
Yeah, I can hear you. And I still see me, so
Hold on.
I'm still in there. There you are. What's up, Tonya 23? Uh-huh.
We'll see how that
I
goes.
see that shirt, sis.
Oh, thank you. Yes, this is Tonya 23 fashion.
Right.
And it's on the back.
I see you.
So, you know, just because I don't have to keep swiggling around, they don't got to see my back.
Right.
Oh, man, let me see something real quick, sis. Technical difficulties 101. But I got this. Pretty
I
good.
need my tea warmed up. Hey guys, will one of you guys warm up my tea for me a little bit? Warm up my tea a little bit for me? I don't know. 30 or so seconds. I really want some more tea. I'm gonna drink more.
I know. I
Put
kind of
water on.
too. Let's see some. Okay, girl, you go ahead and pull a card.
All right. So which deck you want to start with?
I'll let you kick that off.
Let's start with you know what? I didn't use this deck much last time. So I'm gonna start with the Elemental Oracle. I'm gonna start with that deck.
Okay.
And see what it is that we where we get led. So I pulled music. So are we starting with music?
Yes, you have.
Number 28, that is. I should have let you pull first, so I could have pulled but you got numbers to stuff too, right? Let me see. There we are.
Yeah.
Number 28. I pulled music. So I think I need to angle, thank you. I think I need to angle this down a little bit just so I can see better. Let me angle my light down a little. I hope that doesn't take me in some weird light or whatever, but okay, that is better for me. Music. Here's the card. Can y'all see that in the light? Can you see that, sis?
Closer.
It might be hard to see.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay. That's music number 28.
That's a bass
Right.
violin.
So it says, use music to change your mood. Music raises your vibration. Create ways you can express yourself more fully. Move your body through dance. Allow your body to heal through movement. Surround yourself with music to heal. It can be the music of nature, natural soundscapes, or human-generated music. So the word of power for this card here is musicos. That's an ancient Greek word pertaining to muses. Music is an air element activity. Not only are voices powered by air and many instruments powered by breath, but music is carried by the air element to the ear. Cultural expression is often through music and not just language. And we are able to recognize different cultures through their music. We know flamenco guitar is Spanish and that certain drum rhythms are African or Japanese. And we know what jazz, pop, or opera sound like.
Yeah.
Elements within music such as timbre, texture, dynamics, and expression form structure, rhythm, and pitch. Form structure, rhythm, and pitch make it complex and unique. Music is either notated or written down in a musical language or is learned by ear. Music has the ability to change mood and state. So spiritual, ritualized, and religious music are of huge cultural importance. Music was an integral part of the ancient religions of India, Egypt, Cambodia, Greece, and Rome. Achieving trance of euphoric states can be assisted by certain kinds of music, and this is part of the study of the cognitive neuroscience of music. Okay. The development of music therapy has advanced quickly as a mode of healing. Although we know that ancient Greek centers of healing almost always had a theater and music section, it can be used to help people of all ages with conditions such as depression, sensory impairments, Alzheimer's, development disabilities, and substance abuse issues. The element is air, of course.
Yes.
What you take out of that, sis?
Awesome. Yes, I'm sending this link on Facebook. I didn't get a chance to send the YouTube link. So I'll be right there. There we go. Yes. Excellent. Excellent. I was prompted about being mindful about words, and they were talking about air signs and the planetary alignment right now. For myself, how I deal with words, but especially when I'm expressing it to air signs. So that was kind of deep. If you can know the zodiac sign of anyone you deal with, right? You kind of got to feel your way through anything, any situation.
Right. It talked a lot about, I kind of like to, I'm on the wrong page. I kind of like to pick out words, you know what I mean? And it talked about culture and distinguishing of culture, and you know, it talked about expression, and it talked about it in so many different ways, and how the expression of music, there's so many different elements that have to
Yes.
take place, like the timbre, the texture, the dynamics, the form, the rhythm. You know, there's so many elements that go into just want to make one thing that all comes together in perfect pitch and harmony, and
Yes.
you know, that we're able to take in to lift our vibrations and to lift our moods, you know.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Let me,
So I thought that that was
it's almost an instant relief to whatever it is, for whatever genre of music it is. You could be feeling whatever kind of way that song is going to help to express what you're struggling with. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like not so much the words, I mean, the music itself, you know, kind of speaks to you.
mhm, mhm, mhm.
Oh my
Without a doubt, without a doubt. And I thought about there was a couple of things in here that I thought was pretty important.
God. Mhm.
Um, where was it? Da, 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 da. Oh my God, there was a point in here. I know I wanted to make a point about movement,
Yeah.
um, and dance, and that is so important. Movement in so many ways, on so many different levels. Movement
Mhm.
is so important, because without movement, you know, lack of movement creates stagnation, not
Yes.
just externally in your life, but it also creates stagnation within, on a, you know, on a health level, because it's important for us to be moving our muscles, and you know, also not just on that level, because we're talking about an air element. So when we start moving and flowing with that element, then we become in perfect rhythm in nature with
Yes.
nature. You know what I mean?
You can
So there's
combine
so
with
many
it,
ways we can
tap
release.
into it. Yeah. Mhm. Yep. So true. Oh my goodness. Struggling over here, stuff falling off the bookshelf.
Hmm.
I had saved the card that I pulled earlier from the Moonology deck,
Hmm.
and it was "You Are Good Enough," and this was the Moon in Virgo.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So I'm gonna read that one.
Okay.
Yes, many times when we are working towards something, we ask ourselves over and over it's probably at every obstacle portion, we question if we're good enough.
Hmm. Hmm.
And we just have to be our own cheerleaders and work our way through each time. You know, you get to a
Right.
stumbling block, you're like, you know,
Right.
go through and evaluate it, how you're gonna solve it, get the solution, implement it, then you can move on. And
Hmm.
after a few cycles of that, you begin to realize obstacles just come as
Right.
challenge.
Right.
You
Right.
get, you know,
Part of it all.
yeah. And this is page 78.
78.
Mhm.
Okay.
78, 15. You could do 15 or 6. You are good enough. It's time to be really honest with yourself and understand what led you to ask your question. Have you been humble to the point of being self-effacing? Humility is good, but it can go too far. And drawing this card suggests you may be underrating yourself. You don't have to be flash, just quietly certain that you are good enough. At the other end of the scale, you also need to honestly answer this question. Have you been too picky? The full moon in Virgo card needs some truthful answers. Once you've given them, it should be easier to see how you got where you are. Your next step should then be more obvious to you. Pay attention to the details. Hard work brings results. Absolutely. And so like the hard work part, yeah, it can get tough,
Right.
but
Right.
it brings results if you persevere. Absolutely. So it has attuned to the moon, find a balance between the cosmic and the mundane in your daily life. Additional meanings for this card. Worrying too much will attract more things to worry about. That's true. We are magnets. Whatever we're doing, we're attracting to us as well. Have you been overly critical? An apology may be in order. Stop second guessing yourself. Raise your karma by doing something good for someone else. The teaching. The full moon in Virgo is a time to declutter your life. I've actually literally been working on this for quite a while, but going through clothes and just getting rid of what I no longer wear anymore. Like if I haven't worn it 2 or 3 years, 4 years, maybe it's time to move on type
Mhm.
thing.
Mhm.
Um, Time to declutter your home and your office. It's time to sort what's good in your life from what's not serving you. It's also time to clear out your energies via salt baths and meditations. Absolutely. And I do have some recipes, salt baths I could share. Um, and to practice getting more grounded by walking barefoot.
Right.
No matter when you draw this card, it's a reminder that any time is a good time to start living a healthier life. Yes, and as a community, we definitely have to realize that it is not weird or anything to want to live healthier, to strive to. That's the beginning of it, you know, and everyone has their own time and pace, but you would think that it would be the goal, you know. Yes, we all have our vices or whatever, but to realize consciously that you want to do something different literally is the beginning of magnetizing towards you that change.
Mhm.
Mm.
Mhm. Mhm. Without a doubt. That's why I liked when it said, oh, balance between like the cosmic
Cosmic and
and the mundane, because that could be really hard when you have
yes,
a calling or a higher vision, or
yes,
something you're trying to do, and also trying to balance the everyday bulls that comes with just the
and
every day trying to
relationship,
balance that
yes, yeah,
you know
yeah, balancing that and your relationship life also. That's pretty much in my natal chart that I need to make sure that I balance, my work life and
hmm
my relationship life. Yeah.
hmm
Because I have a tendency to become engrossed in what I'm doing,
right.
aka what they would call a workaholic.
hmm hmm hmm
Yeah, that can
because
get
it's like, and you put focus into one thing, and it seems like you lose focus on another. And just trying to balance all of that out can
yeah,
sometimes just get a little difficult. There was a lot of just a lot of jewels in that I took away.
yeah,
Second guessing yourself and
yes.
worrying.
Worrying leads to sicknesses,
hmm hmm
anxiety.
mhm,
It's
mhm.
very
And
easy
again,
to come across anxiety.
mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Mhm.
I just want to again too, like, remind people that we're also talking about removing blockages, because all of
Mhm.
this is how you want to do things also on the spiritual or within, tuning in to music and doing movement, having movement for your body, and you know what I'm saying? So you can clear any negative energy, or sometimes we don't pay attention to what we're listening to, and even though it sounds good, it's not something that's gonna vibrate you higher.
Right.
You know what I mean? So just this whole second guessing, and here where you said raising karma by doing something um good,
Hmm.
for someone
For
else,
someone else.
paying it forward.
Right. Not only raising karma, but clearing past negative karmas. Um, yeah, I do believe that that is one way of
Hmm.
working on karma clearing. Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
Mhm. And
Without a doubt.
talked about the salt baths.
The salt
Very
bath is a
important.
big deal.
Very important in my life for
Hmm.
sure. Yeah.
Hmm.
I was looking at some recipes today. I did say I had some to share, and I was just thumbing through, and I saw like a goddess bath salt. Here it is, right on the page. Thank you, Great Spirit. It's on page 101,
Hmm.
called Great Goddess Bath Salts. I've been told this smells like white shoulders perfume, whatever that smells like. But it's 1 cup of Dead Sea salt, 8 drops of magnolia oil, which is very good, 4 drops of myrrh oil, and 8 drops of lily oil.
Hmm.
I would have to get my hands on lily oil.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Sometimes, if you have the name, you can Google the substitute, because if you notice, every oil has a replace, something you can use in
Right,
place for the similar effect.
right, right, right.
Yeah. So that
I
was,
like to. I do a few different kind. It depends on how involved I want to get, but
yeah.
I like to do like sea salt, the Dead Sea salt with a little bit of like a detox clay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll boil up
Yes. I
my
have the
lemon and ginger
bentonite.
on the stove
Yeah.
and pour
Mm-hmm.
that in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'll get busy sometimes on the bath tip, depending on what I'm trying to do. You know what I
Right.
mean?
And an easier way, if we want to combine ingredients and you're really working on something and you're using the fresh herbs, is to go ahead and boil it and make the tea.
Right.
Drain it, and then that way
Then
it's
pour
easier
it
to
into
pour
your
in.
exactly. That's what I'll
To do a
do.
good amount of it in if you got a big pot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Yeah, I love to do that.
Mm-hmm. And it smells so good. Like you boil up
Yes.
the lemon and the ginger. Oh, it just lights up the whole house. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like, and then you're putting it inside of your water. You got your clays, you got your salt, you got
Because
your oil,
that
whatever
way
you're
you
supposed to
can,
pour in there.
yes, you can boil the whole lemon, like just cut it in
Mhm,
half. You're boiling the skin too, so you're
mhm.
really getting
That's
that
how I like
pungent
to do it.
aroma. And that
Right.
people don't know that I don't know if they know, but to add that it's antibacterial bacteria in the air. A lot of the herbs clear the air, like lavender has antimicrobial
Mhm,
properties and stuff like
mhm,
that. Boiling it, letting that vapor go through your house and stuff
mhm.
is just an added benefit. Then you get to strain it, use it in your tub, clear your body. So many uses out of that one thing. So it's worth
And
the
not only
investment.
that, because let's not forget to mention that on a whole nother level, um, this is also clearing spiritual energies or negative
Absolutely.
energy.
Right, right.
When you're
Yeah,
boiling
that's the
these
main thing.
herbs, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you
It's
boil a
great for the
lemon,
skin. Don't get us wrong. All those ingredients are great for the skin as well, but the main purpose is energy
Right,
clearing. Yeah.
right. You know what I mean? You want to clear, you want to do some energy clearing. And
Yeah.
that's basically what's happening. Like those lemons that are antiviral, antibacterial, those things that are like that are meant to fight away bad things and bad
Right.
things. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Yep.
inside, not just inside,
Right. But
just
outside
smelling
as
a
well.
lemon automatically lifts your mood. It makes
Right.
you feel like things are fresher or
Yes.
cleaner. You
Yes.
know
You
what I mean?
feel the effect of it. Yeah.
Right. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
You feel
I
clean.
pulled I don't know if you have more to say on that, but I pulled a card, number
Go ahead.
to that card there. I just broke it down to number 6.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
'Cause I don't even know if I had a 15 in there. I don't think I had a 15 or a 78 in there. I'm not sure. So which I thought was good because it kind of matched what you're saying here.
Mm-hmm.
So I pulled love number 6 because what you had 78, which breaks down to 6.
Right. That was
So
the sacred geometry.
sacred geometry.
Yeah,
So
that was the macabre again.
the
Is that the
macabre.
outside of all the cards, or
Tell them
is
about
that
the macabre real quick. You want to talk about the macabre real quick? You was just breaking it down, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people know about it, but
perhaps? But we were talking about the macabre in the aspect of the meditation practice, which is basically sitting in that upright. You can do it in a chair, or if you're comfortable or in that yogi position with the legs crossed, up under you in the standard meditation position. But it's really all about, um, and it really isn't, first of all, it's not a beginner's practice. You want to begin to meditate yourself more times, get in tune with um, moving through ether and different things like that in your meditations, because this is really astral meditation, and you are making your body light you're raising your frequency to a certain point. So some fasting needs to go in there before you attempt it, some affirmation work, some home clearing, because your space, wherever this you're going to do it, your space needs to be clear. You probably can benefit from having certain crystals. Your basic quartz will always work. um yeah, a lot of things go into it, but yeah, it's like a high form meditation practice that allows you to travel wherever you'd like to go. Yeah, you know, so absolutely. And I'm still, looking into it, but what I'm
it's it's
basically
it's
doing,
it's thought in pure form. You know what I
that
mean?
too.
You
And
know,
it's based, and that's what I wanted to tell you earlier that I figured out, and it had slipped my mind, and let me write it down. Thanks for reminding me that one of the main preparations for this macabre meditation is to be in a high love spirit. So if you're trying to raise your frequency, you got to use love. That's the highest one. So, once you get into that love frequency to that point, and I actually thought about it that for me, let me speak, that might have to happen in solitude for me to remain in that highest love frequency, because I can't allow outside something to take my thought off of it for 1 second. So I feel like that's a personal practice that I would activate and drum up that love intention within myself. So yeah, that space would be filled with love also. But see, the macabre is pretty much like your vehicle. You're assembling your vehicle. It's like as the geometry goes, it's the triangle facing up and then the triangle facing down, and your body's enclosed in it. So it's
It's like
definitely
you're making me want to pull out the magician card because
right.
it's like being like
Absolutely.
on heaven as it is on earth. You're the vehicle between
As
heaven
above,
and
so
earth, and
below.
right.
Right.
And once you understand that, you become the vessel for that light, for that energy, for those downloads, to be able to travel to different spaces. And that's why I described it as thought in pure form, but it doesn't have to necessarily be that. That's just one type of level of it. But, you know, like a lot of people don't necessarily have to visit a place to be able to travel places
Right.
mentally. And that's what
Right.
we see a lot of
And
times
I've
you're
I've done
writing
that
and things
many
like
times.
that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's
You know,
pretty
and
like
they're able to use their imagination to
hmm
clear that and go wherever they want to go and
I
envision what they want.
also I looked at it as creating and controlling your dream state. Because if you can do that, that's literally traveling as well.
Exactly, because once you get to that level, then you also receive messages and visions in your dreams. You
Hmm.
know, you'll see you'll get information in your dreams. Like a lot of things that have come to me, or a lot of things that I have created, that was brought to me in a dream. A lot of things that I've written, literally the whole thing, word by word, was brought to me in
Hmm.
a dream. I woke up and wrote it down.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, you know, it depends on the level that you're at. But I like the fact that you mentioned the whole love frequency, and that being the frequency that you have to be in, and that's the highest
Hmm.
frequency, right? Because
Hmm.
when we break down the 78 and we get the 6, we get the love. You know what I'm saying? So
There
we
we
on
go.
point, right? You
Hmm.
know what I mean? So we on point. So anyway, let me break down love. This card indicates a need to see the world through the eyes of love, and to remember at all times that only love is real. When you look beyond the illusions to see the beauty in the world, you align yourself with source and the intentions of your soul. Because you attract what you are, when you see through the eyes of love, that's what will surround you in all areas of your life. This card also indicates a need to go within to recognize and address any limiting thoughts and beliefs that are holding you back from experiencing love. This is a time when you must ask yourself, am I truly open to giving and receiving love? Do I truly believe I am worthy of love? And do I really believe that love exists for me? Because love only comes when you believe that it exists, when you're open to giving and receiving it, and when you know that you are worthy. In order to improve your current situation, you are being asked to adjust to and harmonize with the natural rhythm and cycles of your life, cycles that are encouraging you to see and believe in love. When you believe in yourself and cherish your life as it is today, love will embrace you in ways you've never known. Unconditional love of self and others will attract more love into your life. The affirmation, I see through the eyes of love and attract more love into my life. So that was a whole mouthful of a whole bunch of stuff right there.
Absolutely. And we were talking about us being magnets and attracting. Um, but I like the part about, do you believe that love exists? Belief is a big part of it. If you got to keep convincing yourself, and you know, you have to literally be able to get to the point where you're walking in love unconsciously, just flowing with it. And then it talked about harmonizing with life cycles. And then that goes to the card you pulled before that talked about music. So, boom, there you go. If you combine music and the love frequency, you're gone. You're gone. That's it.
Word up. Word
By
up.
golly, we just
See,
solved the mystery.
that's the reason why when back in the day when music was played, you know, at that love frequency hertz, and you had those Marvin Gayes and all of those people, like music
It'd be
was
like,
different and it
just my
felt different.
imagination once again,
Hey,
running away with
hey,
me. Oh, goodness, girl. It was just my imagination
Yes, it goes in.
running away with me. Girl, when you was going through something and you was questioning yourself, and put that song on so you don't
Pulled
worry
you
about it. It
through
was
a
nothing
lot,
but
a lot, a
your
lot of tough times.
imagination.
Mhm. I feel like that's kind of maybe lacking a little
And
bit
it
now.
is. The song is
Right.
very true, right?
Because it was the songs that could help you pull through hard times, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe that's lacking a little bit now. But I'm just speaking on the whole love frequency, that being the highest frequency,
Mm-hmm.
being in that, in a, like you said, in an unconscious state, and like how it talked about belief, recognizing your limiting thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
and also loving yourself, like having unconditional love for yourself, because these are the things that keep or maybe slow down, the gifts or whatever it is that we're trying to attract, because though we may be moving like we want it, sometimes deep down in the surface, we got those other thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
hitting us up,
Right.
that's blocking us from,
Well,
achieving what we want.
I was thinking that when you're working and you're bringing the love frequency using the music or whatever, at a certain point, if you have, it's kind of like an exorcism. If you have anything ill in you, it's going to rise to the surface before your frequency goes higher. So you're going to have to deal with that. But realize you're in the macabre, you're in a vehicle, you're protected. These are thoughts, and you got to be able to let the thoughts come through and go. But each time, find the love in each thing. You know what I'm saying? To keep going up. I know this happened, this came to the surface or whatever. I guess you got to be able to forgive yourself and to keep going. You know what I mean? But
Right.
yeah, you can't stop the fact that those things are going to arise. And that's another caution, tip, red light, whatever, you know, depending
Exactly,
on
because we're
each
gonna have thoughts,
person
but
is
we don't gotta
different.
identify with them. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
we don't have to become them. We can
Or we
address
don't
the
have
fact
to
that we have
relive
to.
it. But like
Right.
say
You know what I'm
certain
saying?
experiences that a person may have gone through or something like that, or something that has happened to them in life that keeps popping up, visually. When you're doing meditation, those flashes of whatever it is will
They
come.
do pop up.
Yeah. So
Right.
you have to be
Able to
expecting
blow
it.
that, breathe that
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. And
You
like I
know?
said, this is not a beginner practice. So you're
Right.
gonna know coming in what you need to
Right.
do.
One of the
Yeah.
things that I like to do that I feel like is easy for a beginner is because a lot of times people come into meditation, they're like, well, I can't clear my mind for however
Right.
long. But for me, I look at meditation like this. Meditation is your point of focus and how you chose to practice it. So say for instance, sometimes I meditate with thought, because I will allow myself to see what's down deep in the surface and what is coming up. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm in breath. So when I'm breathing in, I'm breathing in all that I know I truly am. Okay. All that light, all that love. Any negative thoughts that are coming through, I'm going to blow that out, and I'm going to envision that as breaking all of that up, because that's not a part of me. I seen it. I learned whatever I need to learn from it, or whatever, if there was something to learn, and I'm going to blow that out. So you're just you're training yourself on um, how to take in breath at a pace, how to blow out breath at a pace, and how to become aware of those subconscious thoughts. Because many times we don't recognize every human, every person, even when we're acting in our conscious mind, our subconscious mind is working beneath. And that's really the driver of, it's not really the conscious mind, it's really the subconscious mind that is truly the driver. So
Mm-hmm.
once we become aware of what the muddle, or the part we want to kind of not look at,
Or get
and
rid
forget
of,
about,
or get rid.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Once we can see that, then we can get rid of it. But sometimes we let it sit because we want to act like it doesn't exist, or or we don't even sometimes know that we have certain things, you know,
Or be
why certain things
forgotten.
are.
But when we get to that certain level of meditation, you will remember.
You will remember. You
Mhm.
will remember. You will
Absolutely.
remember.
Yes, you will remember. You know, because remember, and this is pure love and perfect, and love is perfect. There's not many things perfect, but these universal things are perfect. Music's perfect. Love is perfect. Uh, let's see, there's some other perfect things. You know, you can break down, well, happiness kind of falls under love, but it's like all those things that are purely liberating to
Real
the
truth, real
soul.
truth, real truth is
Yeah, they're
perfect.
powerful, perfect. Yeah, like, yeah, if we want to sum up what somebody might call God, you can't leave those things out,
Can't leave out. You can't leave out truth. You can't
you
leave out
know,
love. Those are
because
things you can't leave out.
they're so perfect that you would have to attribute that to source.
To source, and that's the thing that it also talked about source. That what did it say about infinite source? It said, and to remember at all times that only, that's a big one, because that's my right there. And to remember at all times that only love is real. When you look beyond the illusion to see the beauty in the world, you align yourself with source and the intentions of your soul. So, you know, looking beyond the illusion, the world shows you so many illusions and reasons as to why maybe you can't do it, because it'll throw all types of bull at you. You know what I mean? But we have to
For
be
sure.
able to see beyond all of the distractions and all of that stuff that's coming at us, so we can stay aligned with, you know, with infinite source, so we can stay aligned
Yes,
with source. You know what I mean?
yes, absolutely. I was
Yeah.
thinking, I'm gonna pull one from the Mermaid Tarot deck.
Hmm.
So something a little different. Give me a moment. But yeah, that was deep for sure. Oh, see what our Mermaid Tarot deck was, by the way. This is it. And I do have links, the link to purchase that. Which I need to get all that information and stop mentioning it, because if you mention it, you've got to do it. That's another thing. I gotta write that down because I would love to elaborate more on that. If you
Mm.
say it, you gotta do it.
Mm.
And we're gonna tie that spiritual, business wise.
Okay.
One of
I'm gonna
my
put
most
it down.
top things, tips that as if I taught business, what I would advise is to always keep your promises. That is with your ingredients, your service, what you say you offer, whatever it is. You, if you're not going to do that, don't come in the game, period.
Word. Because
You
you
know,
want people to
don't
trust you,
come
but
up
you
with
want to
no
trust yourself
switcheroo,
too.
right? You know, don't come up with no switcheroo stuff or whatever, because it, you know, what we put into the universe comes back. And in business, you want to be successful. So you want to be good with your clients, customers, followers, whatever you want to call people. Um, I like to call them my cosmic star seeds, or other, you know, nothing my to claim, but you know, that's how I look at AKA customers. If you felt it not robbery to do business with me right off the bat, you're special. So I'm not going to use an average name like a follower or, you know, whatever it is.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'm constantly trying to show the difference, because I am quite different. I'm just different.
Right. You're
You know?
able to pour that love into what you do,
Yeah,
and allow that,
absolutely.
you know, allow that client to see that there was some real
Right,
care and handling in this. And,
right. If you bought a
you know,
cream from me, like, and you would buy it from the store, you would get your cream, you would use it, you would have your opinion, you would either repurchase or not. With
Right.
me, you could get the cream, you would use it, you'd have your opinion, you could contact me with your opinion, we could discuss it. I could tweak the ingredients to better serve you
Exactly.
now that I know more about your situation. And we could, progress to
Right.
perfection, a perfect product for you. And you could
Right.
continue, when you reorder it, exactly what you're getting. And if you came up with something new, you could contact me and say, hey, I need this or that. But I'm constantly working on a way to market that, because you don't get that. And that's where I'm
Exactly.
different. So yeah.
Right. What I like to do is I kind of like to have like one-on-ones with people. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean?
Okay.
Because that allows me to be like, okay, well, what you got going on? I see you got this going on. I see you want this product that I made.
Mhm.
And yes, this product is for that particular issue.
Right.
But what other issues do you have lying underneath that I need to know about before I send you this product? Is
Right.
there something else that would suit you better because maybe you're on this med or I want to know what's going on with you. So I
Right.
kind of like that's the nice thing as well of dealing with someone one on one because you're able to tweak that for that person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So yeah. What you got going on over there, sis?
Cards jumping up out of my
All
they're
right.
jumping up out the deck. I'm like, calm down, y'all. I got you. I got you. I got you. Let's see, we had the Hierophant.
Got the
I'll
Hierophant. All
start to
right.
work on that one. That's what the card looks like.
Nice. Mm-hmm.
So she's chilling in her library with her books. Cute little dress. She got a little
Right.
cape dress on. Underwater, you see the bubbles and everything. So she's underwater doing her studies. The mermaid, beautiful African mermaid,
Hmm.
Hierophant. Ooh, magician cards, too cute. Ah, lovely book artwork. Okay, so this is the Hierophant card in the book, if you can see it. Lovely book. I definitely recommend that. Deck. Okay, the Hierophant. Can you imagine a world with no recorded history? Nothing to tell us anything at all about how the world we live in has been shaped, molded, and grown? All those stories and their cast of colorful characters would never have been told if someone like our scribe never made a conscious effort to record them. Every generation has a story to tell, a lesson to share, and wisdom to impart. To think of a world where that information is not accessible is, well, unthinkable. The Hierophant knows more than most just how important it is to document important people, places, and events. Who we are today is a product of those stories. Without them, none of us would have any sense of identity or purpose. We would have nothing to ground us into the space and time we currently exist in. This card in the upright position, which is what we got it as, history is important. Like it or not, you are a product of your history and your ancestral history all rolled up into one. This is why the Hierophant always seems to have a quill in her hand and a book under her arm. It is her job to retell the stories that shape the rules you now live by, and you liking them is not even close to being the point. Rules are in place for a reason. History has some very important lessons. Listen, read, and learn. And
It's a deep card right there. There's a lot of stuff in there people probably don't want to talk about, don't want to hear. Rules for a reason, and you know,
absolutely. As a spiritual and financial leader, I'm here to tell you the policy got to be in place. Buckaroo. Company policy got to be in place. Well, if you
yeah,
think about it,
that is such a good card for
we've got the universal laws, which tell us that laws are necessary, because if not, we gonna be floating in space. A universe afloat.
Yeah, I like that it talked about, it made me think of, we've been talking a lot lately about the Big Mama card, importance of
Yes.
history, knowing where you come from, who you
Ancestry.
are, and right, and this just kind of keyed it in on so many other levels. It made me think of like where I talk about the importance of documenting. And it made me think of like as a nurse, like documentation is the biggest thing, right? And they're like, if you didn't document it, it wasn't done. And so it's like, can you transfer those same work ethics over into your business of documenting important places, people, because it be the small things that, be the things you got to sit still for, be like, okay, I need to write this down, or I need to input this in. Those are the things that sometimes are hard to slow down for. You know what I mean? Like,
And the
just to
thing
take that moment
is,
out.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm done.
No, I was going to say, when you think about, when you said that, I thought about, and even with all the technology we have today, it still is difficult, but it mentioned that the scribe walked around with the quill in the book pretty much at all times. And literally, I'm looking at my Thoth statue, my Tahuti statue, and he's a scribe. And he's with he has the papyrus and the pen, and that's his statue. And literally, he gave us writing and assigned other scribes. So the first scribe was a female. Forgive me, I don't remember her name. I want to say I don't know if it's Hatshepsut. An Egyptian goddess was one of the first scribes.
I got it right
I
here.
believe that was Tahuti's wife. I thought that was his consort.
See, now you're gonna make me look. You're talking. Now you're gonna make me look.
Yes,
I
definitely got to get my memory down, but I do have the resources, I do got the books that I need, related information, just counted to my memory. But this book right here would bring everything to
who'd you say your name was?
Need is, I want to say it's Hatshepsut.
Okay, I'm not for sure if I'm reading the right one.
I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. It's Hatshepsut.
Seshat. I don't know. It says consort.
Hishati, right? His consort. It was whoever's Tahuti's consort
patroness of writing and architecture.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know.
See, I know my goddesses. I just be forgetting their names. But if you show
right, Sashida says something. I don't know if you could even see that if I bring it really close or not. Where probably not. Where it says Sashida or Seshet.
Oh, Seshet. Let me see.
Right. She was the consort of Tahuti. Patron of So
yes,
he was on point.
Patron of writing. Yeah. So I have this book that I gotta go back through again. It's no joke. You need some time to
Yeah,
get
I
through
should have
this
showed what this
bad
book is
boy.
too. What book is that? Let me see. Let me see the front
This
again.
is the complete gods and goddesses of ancient Egypt.
Oh,
This
let
is
me write that down.
one of the best versions. It's by Thames and Hudson. Excuse me, I gotta get this candy out my teeth.
Mhm.
I shouldn't even eaten candy, but
Yeah, let me show what book that was. This is
I'm
that
cheating
Sacred Woman
today.
from
Yesterday
Queen
was
of Sheba.
Halloween. Oh yeah, I have that too.
Right.
Yep. That's my definitely my go-to source.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have like a zillions of books, but this is
Right.
one of my first ones.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Actually I learned a lot of rituals and yoga poses out of here
Right.
that I
Right.
could act, that I loved it because it was kinetic centered. This is
Mm-hmm.
the bomb. Like,
It is the
want
bomb.
to
It
learn
really is.
about the actual practices and everything, that's what you do. She has some great baths and stuff in here too.
Mhm. I love the fact that she made it so easy to be able to connect health into comedic principle, where it
Yes,
didn't
because
seem like
that's
you
what
were
they were
learning this
about.
information that was so, you know what I mean?
Yes, mind blowing, especially about wound care.
Especially about wound care.
Oh
And
my
there's so much
gosh.
information that we need to even think about in regards to wound care, hysterectomies, what,
Yeah, like you literally got doula training in that book too.
Mhm,
Like it's
mhm,
a lot of stuff in that book. Very
mhm,
valuable piece of
mhm.
literature for sure. I think I'm gonna keep rolling with the mermaid deck.
Okay, okay.
But it's your turn. It's your
All
turn.
right, all right. So
Up
I
next,
want
baby.
to do what I want to do, what I want to do. I already pulled from the Elemental Oracle deck, but I had something on my mind. And
Mhm.
I said, okay, I'm going to pull from the Ancestor deck, not necessarily read, but it gives us little herbs.
Yeah.
So let's see what herb pops out, that maybe people can write down, look into.
Oh,
Maybe it might be one we're familiar with.
you
My
said
cards is popping,
herbs. Yeah, let me get my
cards is popping
pad.
all over the place.
Awesome. I know mine too.
Let me see what we got.
Cards are
What
just
popped out?
jumping out tonight.
What popped out? The Four of Baskets, which represents the Four of Coins. Can y'all see that?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. That represents the Four of Baskets represents the Four of Cups. Sorry.
Mhm.
That is 113, page 113. So are they talking about the plant for that is bay? Are they talking about the bay leaf? They're talking about the bay leaf.
The baby.
The bay leaf, because it says the plant is bay.
Bay leaf.
So they must be talking about the bay leaf. Should I read the card?
Sure, I love bay. Yeah, I use bay for a lot of stuff.
Okay, I'll read the card. A young woman is being offered just one more basket after rudely rejecting the other three. The NG couplings belong to Neville Goddard. So hold on, let me look at this closer.
Neville Goddard.
Oh, I see. There's somebody that's offering it up. You see the hand going through. Okay, Neville Goddard. So the people in these cards are actual people that lived. There are a few that are like myth or whatever.
Yeah, Neville Goddard, I know about him.
Okay,
I think a minister, philosopher, but he's really famous, kind of like a Billy Graham sort. He has some videos on recordings, wisdom teachings. They're on YouTube.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out. Yeah. Okay, so Neville Goddard, 1905 to 1972, who was one of the most important and influential New Thought voices of the 20th century. The New Thought movement emphasized the power of positive thinking and the ability of the mind to manifest whatever the seeker desired, also referred to as the law of attraction. Neville claimed that his teacher was a turbaned Black man named Abdullah, who tutored him in scripture, number mysticism, Kabbalah, and Hebrew. New Thought philosophy was incorporated into many Black American spiritualist churches. That's a whole nother subject. Meaning, positive, revitalization, meditation, introspection, and we just finished talking about all of this, and the end of stagnation. The negative to that would be boredom, withdrawal, fatigue, dissatisfaction, apathy, lack of motivation, cataloging regrets. We just talked about cataloging, feeling misunderstood, reclusiveness, frustration, and a whole bunch of other negative things that come along with that. So what'd you think about that card?
I think that, well, actually, when I use Bay Herb, it is for protection, clearing bad energy, negativity, money magnetism, money magnet,
Money magnetism.
prosperity, work. And so I would imagine it works that way in all aspects. I find that the herbs do have, they work internally, externally,
Right.
And herbal meditation is really good too, like satchels and stuff like that. It helps to instantly raise the vibration quicker.
Have you ever used?
It might sound funny, but if you put those herbal, whatever you're working with, if you put those herbal sachets under your armpits, they work quicker. Those are points where heat points of the body.
Exactly. Have you ever worked with bay leaf for internal reasons, for any reason?
Say that again, I didn't hear you.
Have you ever worked with bay leaf for internal reasons, for whatever reason other than cooking with it? Have you ever decided that you were going to use it to make a product or use it for some type of internal reason?
Yeah, actually, when I did my herbal body butter, that was one of the ingredients, but it was actually for like pain relief.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to use concentrated amounts, so it actually, you can feel it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it actually works better internally for like arthritis and stuff, like inflammation and stuff like that. All that stuff, everything works better internally. But most people think you can just cook with it.
Right.
You're usually not cooking with the amounts that you would need to make it effective. Yeah, you would need to cook in large amounts of it. So it's good for herbal supplements if you could get it in a vitamin form,
tonic and something like that,
the actual herb. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, like tonic and stuff like that.
Yeah. So that was a little bit of a side piece, Jewel, right there. But the card also talked about what we were talking about, all of that stuff. The power of positive thinking.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's the message. And to even think positively, you got to have some forms of love, some bit of love there, unconditional love for whatever it is. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I wanted to add that there was one, I forget what I was reading. Excuse me, I forget what I was reading, but it was like, it was about love. Oh yeah, it was like love is also not, it doesn't look like agreeing with everything. Like love, when you think about love, you think everything's so floaty and, oh no, don't worry about it. Oh no, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Like just to be in this life. That's why I say it's got to pretty much happen when you're by yourself, because otherwise you got to be in this constant love frequency, which means eventually you're gonna have to let something's gonna try to slip in. You know what I mean? And setting boundaries we talk about is another strong form of love, because we have to set boundaries, but as we talked about, it's the way we set the boundaries. You kind of gotta float your way into, because it drops heavy on folks. So you know, we talked about words of power and how we know we're powerful speakers or whatever, or our words can land heavy. So yeah, I definitely was thinking about that.
Yeah,
And
and it's hard sometimes to balance it because people, um, when you walk in a love frequency, you can get a number of things. People sometimes take that as weakness,
manipulation.
right? Or they think you're always that if you're in this love frequency, that there ain't a flip side to that, and that you're supposed to always be in this mode no matter what it is, and that they can't see the flip side
Exactly.
to the love frequency. You know what I mean? It's like there's sides to everything. There's light and there's dark, and there's two sides to it. You know what I mean? So sometimes, setting boundaries, like you said, being
Yeah.
able to
You
set those
too lovey
boundaries.
dovey, you will be tried
Right.
with the fuck shit.
You definitely will be tried. Period. Point blank. You will be tried.
Okay. It will come into play. Oh yeah, definitely.
So who just went? I just went, didn't I?
Yeah,
Mhm.
the bay leaf, that was good.
Mhm.
Let's see what we got here. Three of Wands. That's her wand.
Three of Wands, you said?
She has a mirror. She's a mermaid, but she has a mirror and three wands.
Okay.
Lovely artwork. I love her skirt colors. It's just so amazing when you see us portrayed in positive images. Beautiful cards. Let's see. Three of Wands. 133. 133 was that number. Okay, here we go. Three of Wands. This mermaid is doing something special that may seem inconsequential to most, but that magnifying glass allows her to do something special. With her three wands for support, she can now take a closer look at what she has created. It is one thing to create blindly, just wishing things into creation. It is quite another to be aware and in the know about what you are creating and at what stage of the process your creations are. What better way is there to do than, oh, what better way is there to do that than with three magical wands and a magnifying glass? The Three of Wands seems less about doing and more about observing. When you have a lot going on, it is important to take time out and check on things. The three wands can indicate a check in on three of your life pillars: love, health, and wealth. Are these areas of your life all going the way you want? Have you successfully manifested the things you want in each of these areas? Or is there still work to be done? You will only know this if you are willing to take a closer look. So we just talked about the scribe and writing things down. And now we have the Three of Wands telling us to take a look into these areas of our life and make sure if we have everything done. So it's kind of like audit, inventory, spiritual inventory, which leads us into business inventory. Um, yeah, and these are the pillars of our life: love, health, and wealth. Spiritual, that's where spiritual meets business, right? Um, and of course, just like raising children, we got to raise these different areas in our life, just like they were children, constantly check in. We were talking about that before with the love life, check in, how's it going? How are we seeing our relationship? Check in on our health, keep up with our checkups and appointments, different things we have to do, learning more about different ways to improve. We started the show on that note, how in our community, it's okay to strive to want to do better. You don't have to be looked at like, oh, you brand new. Well, hell yeah. You're right. You're right about that. How you like me now? You acting all brand new. Remember how that used to make us feel some type of way?
Right, yeah, it's like,
I'm acting all
yeah,
brand new. Well, now that's changed. Yes, we are acting brand new.
yeah, yeah. But I like something you said when you talked about the whole kid thing, like
my, how the tables have turned.
you know what I'm saying? I was saying, sis, I like what you had said. You said something about something that you mentioned kid or children. I can't remember exactly what it was that you said.
Checking those pillars, raising those pillars in our life like they're children.
Right. And I
which
think that
means you keep checking and keep checking in.
Right.
Or evaluating where they are, just like kids,
Right.
When they get
Exactly.
a certain age, 7 years old, they should be at a certain spot in development,
Right.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, that's a good analogy, because I think once we become adults, we forget about we are still kids. We are that child, and sometimes we separate that self, that part of ourselves.
Earth child.
And we think we're finished. We think we're finished growing, but we have to continue to raise ourselves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
We have to continue to check in. The growth is not done.
Yes. No matter at what level or age you are, that's a stage of development, And when we get towards the end, that development stage is to get ready to, fully develop. That's when you fully develop. And I kind of do go with the thinking that souls that haven't fully developed here, once they transition, then they become spirits that are underdeveloped. If they didn't get to the maturity state, like say that they got here, I feel like the soul state is also immature. But I feel like a soul and a spirit can still mature. I feel like even though we transition, I don't think it stops there. I think we can still elevate and mature. And, there's still work to be done as a spirit. Like, don't think you're done.
Yeah, the work is not done.
Yeah, because death looks like the end. You know what I'm saying? To me, and in my spirit, that's far from true.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. I don't know for sure. No one's ever come.
No one knows
they
for
say
sure.
that no one came back and gave us the full report, but I do consider myself in tune with the spirit, and I've had some amazing confirmations that it's personal, but I can firmly say that it's not over when this is over. It's not really over.
Yeah. That's all this prepping for.
It's the end for what you know as this.
Right.
But,
as this. So there's a lot of prepping.
Yeah. I mean, I used to be so very scared of death. Like, I used to have conversations with my sister, like, how many times do you think about dying in a week? And she'd be like 2 times a day. I was like, I thought it was me. Then I started to do a little experiment and ask random people that I knew could handle the question.
Right.
And I found out, dang, this is what we do as humans.
Right.
Yeah, because at first I was like, dang, do you got a problem, girl? Why are you always thinking about it? Started a little research, found out it's human nature, but you have to train your mind otherwise.
Mhm.
because hey, we are aging. We know we're aging by the second. And
Nobody's getting
so,
out alive.
yeah, that's a subconscious thing that comes to the surface. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So that's
Mm.
normal. You got to train yourself out of it because you have to live your life. You have to live life and not, yeah, exactly.
Right.
Live life
Exactly.
knowing that the clock is ticking.
Okay. Okay. I
Heck
pulled the
yeah.
match to you. The what you pulled, 133?
Yeah.
I pulled the match to
Three of
you.
Wands, it was on page 141.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's another 6.
Oh, I thought you said its number was 133.
Um, that was the one before.
Oh, okay. Let me
Yeah,
take
this
that
one was
off.
on 141.
Okay, so that was number 6 again. So
3 of Wands, I believe. Yeah.
yeah, I'll just maybe I'll pull something
Yeah,
random.
shuffle. Yeah, I was gonna say do a shuffle and
Yeah. Should I pull my rider to wait? I don't have my rider to wait, so we just have to pull the top of our head for that one. I'll pull
yeah.
from the elemental oracle.
Something happened to your, did you move your phone a little bit? The volume sounds a little low.
Did it? All right.
The
Hold on.
volume.
Sec. Let me see if I can pull up my
It might
phone.
just be the internet because I remember that happened the other night, but it came back.
What about now?
I can hear you. It's just still a little faint. It
Okay.
wasn't like it was really good before.
I hope it comes back in.
Yeah, it'll come back probably. I think it's
Okay.
the connection, but yeah, I can hear you.
You know what though, sis? There was a reason why still, before we go to that one, there was something you had mentioned too. I pulled the 7. We're gonna come back to that because I pulled the 7 to that 133. It was something you had mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, good one. Oh, I'm glad I pulled from her. So I pulled time.
Oh
You guys
yeah.
see that?
Oh
I
wow.
love this card.
Yeah, I like the artwork. Beautiful.
Yeah. Let's talk about it. What number is that? That is. All right, I'm going to take out of these explosive cards. 41. 41. Okay, time. So discipline is the word. Okay. Find out the causes of your procrastination or resistance. Do not miss your opportunities. Someone is wasting your time. Be aware of this. You have finite time on this planet, so use it well. The word of power is disciplinatus. As you grow up, time seemed to pass very slowly, and you couldn't wait to grow up. Then conversely, as you aged, time went quickly as you knew it was running out. We have an innate idea of time, but what is it actually? Physics say time is what a clock reads, simply. Time has also been defined as the continued indefinite progress of existence, but it is hard to put a definition to the word without actually using the concept of time. We normally refer to time and what it can do for us and what it means. Humans initially broke time down in measurements of light and dark, day and night, when the sun rose, when it began to circle across the sky, when it set, when the moon rose and continued its arc. As humans became more sophisticated and began to break down these phenomena into hours, minutes, and seconds, we learned how to accurately measure time, although many different cultures had just as many ways to express time in calendars. The study of measuring time is called horology. Time is an important element in the way it combines with other elements: the speed of light, the velocity of an object, space, time, and gravity. The element for this card is air.
Remember, we just talked about floating. We be floaters. Time, space, time, gravity. So many forms of time. Yeah. I was just thinking about this saying I've been hearing a lot, that time doesn't exist in space, but that actually, I'm leaning towards debating that, because what you just read actually sparked the light codes in that area. Time exists differently, I would say, on Earth than in space. But there's definitely a form of time. All the planetary cycles are precise in their, it can be tracked in their movements. So time must exist to them as well. But it's probably more on a rhythmic thing. You mentioned gravity, so all the planets are controlled by gravitational forces, and so yeah,
Yeah, I believe
I'm
I,
definitely
I
have to
kind of
debate
can get
that.
with that. I can kind of get with that because I kind of look at time in many different ways, because you can build a time contract with spirit and it can either help you and speed things up, or it can delay and slow things down. For instance, because it lets you know like your time is not God's time or universal time. For instance, you can do something, just make a decision for one split second of a decision can run your whole life. You know what I mean? You could be paying for that or dealing with that for 2021, or it could be a lifelong decision for a split second that calls you your whole life. So time is not fair. You know what I mean? So you can do certain things that will also slow time down for you depending on how you move. You know what I mean? Or I mean, speed time up for you
Right,
depending on how you move. So it shows you that time does move from another. I can't say for sure what time is there, but time definitely does move. You know
right,
what I mean?
yeah,
On a different element from on this plane to another. You know what I mean?
right,
And we know that because the planets show that to circle around a planet for some planets, a year on one planet could be like 5
yeah, on another.
on another, right? You know what I mean?
So time is different per planet. They got their
Right,
own time and space, you know?
right. So, there's something definitely there, you know what I mean?
Yes, that's
And
deep
that thought there.
for sure.
Right.
Time. That just leads me. I'm gonna pull from the ISIS deck because
Okay.
it's getting ready to get deep. Start speaking about time, gravity, this and that. I just feel very I don't know what that was. I feel very extraterrestrial thinking
Right.
vibes. Like it's really hard to stay grounded. It's just so much.
Right. And there's just so
So
much
much
in that.
cosmic energy
Timing is
flowing for
everything,
real.
man. Timing is everything. A lot of times we miss out on our blessings because of timing, the way we move. And sometimes we're blessed because the way that we, timing, it talked about velocity and being able, like the magnitude of your, what did it say about magnitude? It says something about magnitude. Scientifically, the speed of an object is the magnitude of its velocity. So even the magnitude of your velocity increases the speed, the force, and the impact of
Yeah,
what it is that you know what I
exactly.
mean?
Yeah. That's the
It,
rate of which is falling. Yeah. Yeah.
speed your what you're trying to do up a little bit by the
Right.
magnitude of what
Right.
you do. You know what I mean?
Yes. And I feel like that's why planetary metaphysics is really fire. Yeah.
So,
Because you can actually time your reality by
mm,
utilizing whatever's there to the fullest, for
okay,
yourself,
okay,
if you were to execute certain meditations and manifestations, you would
right,
definitely
right, right.
know what the
Okay.
planetary situation is, you know what I'm saying? Right, for sure. And I truly want to say I believe that that's the difference between whether your manifestations get through or not. I mean, not through, but actually manifest or not. Because if the planets is setting up a certain kind of way, I don't give a damn what you're doing. It may still, it'll still happen, but at a delayed time. But there is a way, if you want it to happen on your time,
Right.
you could make that happen. So when they say God's time ain't your time or whatever, but right. And that goes more towards when you gonna transition on some like spookism belief, like God time ain't it's just
Right.
like, yeah,
Right.
okay,
Ain't
that
like that.
there's
Right.
always that element, but I'm not gonna dwell on that. But I know that with time I can manifest as well,
Exactly.
exactly. And God gave us that.
It gave us that.
So yeah.
I mean, what was the point of having the representation here on earth if we weren't here to manifest in the physical form what God's greatness? You know
Right.
what I mean? That you're the representation of the greatness of God because of what you can do. You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
power that He's given, or he, she, whatever you want to, that's
Right.
been given to you, bestowed upon you to be able to create, think,
Mhm.
maneuver. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's just like some may say that I don't need no tools or this and that to talk to God. I just need to pray or whatever. But if you break down what praying actually is, first of all, if you get down on your knees, you're submitting to something. That's a form of submission, right? And it's in pretty much your begging and pleading to an energy to make whatever it is happen for you. That's a form of metaphysical manifestation. And still, there's a chance that you may receive it, and there's a chance that you won't. But when you beg and plead in unbelief, I believe that that is the deciding factor.
Blockage.
When you go into anything, it could be, I could pray to this amethyst. And if I do it in belief, then I'll probably move towards whatever it is I'm asking for, if not granted outright. You know what I mean? And to regularly practice doing that is building this relationship with whatever it is that you worship in.
Mm-hmm.
And so it doesn't really matter the object or the energy. It matters what you invest in it is what you're gonna get back. Like I find that give and take thing happens on all levels.
Because, like we said, you are the vessel
Yeah,
between
and do unto others. We talked about that earlier. Remember the do unto others thing?
others.
How that is like one of the pillar keys,
Mm-hmm.
basically.
Mm-hmm.
When you're talking about putting things out in the universe.
Right. Because it's all cyclic. You know what I mean? It comes in cycles.
Right.
So
granted, even the best of them knew this, still made mistakes. Granted, even knowing these things, consciously remembering them, moving through. But like you were saying, you got to be able to make mistakes and recover,
And recover.
Yeah.
That comes in what? Forgiveness of self, as we.
Exactly. That's a part of life. So
right.
Get that part. Because we tend to harp on each other, put each other down, take the opportunity to make things worse instead of remembering. Because if a person remembers, a lot of times they remember when they was there. Yeah, I have to do that a lot, especially with my kids. It's easy to say, oh, y'all shouldn't do such and such and such and such a thing. When you think about it, my conscience is so heavy, it just be like, as soon as it fly out of my mouth, here it comes. But I'm saying, but you have a chance. You're still young. Always got to throw that in there. If I had somebody like me to tell me don't do it,
right,
I probably would have been hard-headed and did it anyway.
Okay.
I had to learn through the hard way.
I wanted to go to school hard knocks, you know what I'm saying? That's what college I
Okay.
was. So, you
Right?
know,
You enrolled in that school. Don't be crying. Talk about it's a hard knock
mhm,
life for us.
yeah. You know what I'm saying? I learned.
Heck yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, let's see. We got hmm. Goddess of 10,000 names.
Sucky, sucky.
Goddess of 10,000 names. Isis, endless emanations of the priestess. That's deep. I got to clean my glasses for this one. Glasses, right? As a kid, one of my weaknesses was sugar daddies, and the Halloween candy that we got had sugar daddies in it. So I find myself going through taking out the sugar
And
daddy. So
sticky joint,
that's what I've
boy.
been popping in my mouth while we were sitting. They're so addictive. Oh my God.
I remember them joints pulling out everybody's fillings.
Yes. I'm
Mhm.
just living it up. I definitely have a dentist appointment already scheduled on, I think the 12th or something like that. But yeah, I'm on my way. I'm chomping up that candy now. Gotta live a little, that's part of living. Goddess of 10,000 names. That's page 66. There go them sixes.
Mhm.
Okay. Goddess of 10,000 names, Isis, endless emanations of the priestess. Isis, with many names, forms, associations, and expressions, is referred to as the goddess of 10,000 names. A name holds power. It defines and energizes or limits. The names, faces, and roles that you play are just one part of your being, yet you exist beyond them, beloved initiate, as a vast being. You are currently realizing that you are not limited by previous identities you held. Instead, you are becoming more of your whole self, enjoying the uncovering of even more of you. Just like this Lady Isis, you are multifaceted, multidimensional, a multidimensional being. It is most helpful at this phase in your path that you learn not to attach to roles or identities that may have once held great importance for you or others relating to you. It does not mean that you must cease to relate to that name or role. More that you are realizing it is only a part of you, and there is even more of you wishing to express itself now. The roles you are needing to move beyond might be mother, executive, healer, good person, strong person, always in control, daughter, teacher or guru, grandmother, and so on. There is nothing wrong with these roles, and you may still express part of your vast self through such roles. But you are at a significant point in your inner development where you are learning that these are not who you are, but simply expressions of the external, endless self, uncontainable by any human descriptions.
Deep.
Um, it can be tricky to avoid getting stuck in roles that others prescribe for you or expect of you, and yet your self-definition will become wider and your experience of yourself will be more real and fulfilling if you are open to discovering more of you beyond the person you have considered yourself to be up to now. For this to happen, you must be willing to allow the many and varied faces of your being your 10,000 names to begin to emerge in your awareness, to realize that you are more than you currently imagine yourself to be. This opens up tremendous freedom of choice and possibility in life. This can be both exhilarating and terrifying. Trust that the self is, in essence, divine love, and there is great joy in its unfoldment, even if there are challenges to let go of the fears that have held us trapped in certain roles and identities at times. The call to let go of old identity is very strong, leading you to this oracle at this time, when a new, more whole, fulfilling, and truthful sense of identity awaits you. Any fear or struggle that you go through to allow this to happen, beloved, will be spiritually repaid to you, multiplied in so many ways. There is nothing to lose except old limitations and so much wonder and joy to be gained. This oracle also indicates that there is a spiritual name waiting for you on the inner planes. The name may come from various spiritual traditions as a name of a deity or a sacred mantra, or it could be an actual name that you can sound out and use in meditation or sacred temple activities with spiritual groups. That name may also simply be a note, an inner awareness of a sound, and it can be sourced by going into your heart, almost felt more than heard or spoken. The spiritual name is coming to you to help you deepen your connection with yourself. Like any other identity, it is just a representation for a time. You do not need to pack up your old life in search of an entirely new one, unless your heart deeply guides you with peace and neutrality that this is what is needed for your spiritual growth. More often than not, what this spiritual name offers you is a chance to begin to loosen your grip on your old identity, throw it away completely, not throw it away completely, and sense yourself in a more expanded light. When you consciously and easily receive your spiritual name in meditation or dream state, or through a healing or conversation with another initiate, or whether it remains a mystery, trust that it is in your heart, calling you to recognize more of your true self. If you already have a spiritual name, this oracle is guidance to not become too attached to that identity either. Names are ways of knowing a being, but they are not the being. This can be hard for us to take on board in a culture that loves to label and therefore understand everything. For the initiate, however, accepting mystery is a part of the spiritual journey into the divine self. If you have felt constrained by a role, a name, or identity, and are wishing for assistance in growing beyond it, or if you have sensed the new role or identity calling you into greater expression and would love some divine help in that growth, this oracle indicates the help you need is already with you, urging your growth from within. Off the chain. No, that was heavy.
Word up. So
Oh my God.
I got like a whole page written right here just off of that
I'm
card.
glad you do.
Word up.
That's not the first time I got that card, but
No. Didn't we
it's
get
been
it
a
the other
while
night?
since I read the description again. But absolutely, we are the goddess of 10,000.
Word up. Yeah, without a
What a
doubt.
privilege. What a
Uh,
privilege.
uh-huh. Uh-huh. It talks about a lot, like
Look, I don't have to feel funny because I chew gum. I like to chew gum and eat sugar babies. And
all
I'm
right.
super, look, I'm
Yeah,
super
I should have had me
spiritual.
something here that I could snack on, okay?
Oh,
Today's
for
the first,
sure.
isn't it? November
Because I'm
1st.
gonna give me some Rocky Road ice cream when we get off of here.
Okay, now I'm about to get jealous.
Woo! My goodness.
Okay.
But I've been really good for quite a while. I'm definitely gonna ready to get me ice cream tonight.
Word up. You gotta live a little
Yes.
sometimes, right?
All right. While it's in the freezer. Because if I don't hurry up, freezer burn will attack it. Look, if I don't get it, freezer burn will.
Word up, yeah, man. I be wanting ice cream. I'll go and get it, and when I'm into it,
By the
I'm into
time you get it, you be like,
it. Yeah, man. Oh my God. Come on.
and it's
Yeah.
happening quicker now when you buy the ice cream because you have to have you back in the day you used to have ice cream for a hot minute before it get that crystal little sandy taste
Yeah,
in it.
like
Girl, that happened in a couple of months now. Less than a month.
you gotta eat that up. You gotta eat that. You
Yes,
gonna have it.
exactly.
Word.
Right when the kids was here because like one sitting that one container be gone. But me and hubby, one like gallon of ice cream might be here about a month and a half or so before, because I'll eat one cone and I'll be good. I won't think about it till the next
Mhm,
month. Like, let me give me
mhm.
some ice cream.
See, now I'm gonna pick me up some great ice cream from the grocery store tomorrow.
Doggone cones was soft. You gotta hurry up and eat them now too.
Mhm, mhm,
Put them in
mhm.
a Ziploc bag when you
I
open
like
that
I like Death
box.
by Chocolate. I be getting Death by Chocolate and vanilla.
Ooh, I'm gonna get that next time. I forgot all about that existed.
Word up. I've been a
Girl,
Death
you
by
just
Chocolate
gave me a
fan for
light code.
years,
Death by
okay?
chocolate.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't eat it much, but when I have it, I have it.
Too
You know.
funny. Mhm.
So let's get into this card, sis, that you just talked about, because there was a lot.
Yes.
So I don't even
Oh
think
my
we can
gosh.
cover all
Yes.
of
We needed
that
that little breather from that one, but go ahead,
for
sis.
real. You know what I'm saying? But I like it. Talked about power in a name. That's a big one. I could go all over the place with that. And being multifaceted and a multidimensional being, and that you have many roles and there's many layers and levels to you, and you expression of all of those levels sometimes are stunted.
Hmm.
you know you don't always feel free to express all of those parts of you, or sometimes we just suppress them. We don't allow that full expression, and sometimes that's the thing that's impeding us from what it is that we're trying to get, you know what I mean, or where we're trying to go. We're just slowing us down in business because we don't want to express all those different sides and roles of us. We don't want to let people see, you know so that was
I
that
think
was
it's like you would say you would suppress some sides of yourself for fear of how you would be received.
rejection,
That
and
that's
yeah.
pretty much all it is, because you're
Mhm,
actually okay with it yourself. So it's
mhm.
really about how others
Are
receive you.
perceiving you, yeah,
You ever
yeah.
see the guy Kevin Samuels,
Yes.
the YouTube personality? He is a image consultant.
Mhm,
And I actually liked that title. And I was like, yeah, pretty much that's just changing your appearance. But I guess it's such a challenge for some that
mhm,
they need to hire someone like an
mhm,
image consultant.
mhm.
But if
Because
you were
sometimes people
trying
don't
to
know where to
become a
begin.
certain thing, you might delve into that. Like, say, if I was trying to become an actress, I
Mhm,
probably would want to do some image consulting on what actresses do. What is the
mhm,
role of an actress? And,
mhm,
yeah, yeah. So,
mhm, mhm. Yeah, you went all in with that. You just went all in with
mhm,
that expressing of your best self through,
yes.
just, oh, we can't move forward without mentioning that. That is said, you are uncontainable by human description. Is that what it said? Like,
Yeah.
you're not, and the people will try and describe you and put you in a box, and
Real quick.
they make a decision of what you are,
Titles. Yes.
right? Entitle you, and we
Black,
don't have to
white,
accept
this,
those
that.
roles or bow down
Yes.
to them. And sometimes we'll step in those boxes out of fear of stepping out of them, because again, how are we going to be perceived? And in business, just in life, this needs to cross over in life lessons into business.
Right.
We can't allow how we're going to be perceived outside of, how we ourselves want to be
Right.
perceived,
Exactly.
stop us,
Not
so.
not only that is where this form of spirituality meets business. We cannot afford to have certain mentalities. I mean, we cannot let any of our mentalities cross over into our business, is what I want to say.
Please
Business is
speak
a
on
mutual
that.
playing, it's a mutual ground. You don't want to just sell to your people. You want to sell to all people. So that just, you would have to have that mentality to even be super successful, to expand yourself, to offer whatever this is to now the world. You offered it to your network. Now you're expanding to the world. So, you know, say like in business, I don't say for instance, I don't like Italians. I don't have to like Italians to do business with them. This is the mentality of successful business people. You know, they may have that awareness and preference, but when it comes to money, they know how to, when it comes to business, they know how to separate the two. That's also going back to the magician.
Mhm,
Um,
mhm.
you have to be able to rise to the occasion. And so there's
Yeah,
really not
because
much
that definitely.
expansion outside of that. It's like certain religions, they can't do certain things. That's restrictive. So right off the bat, a portion of living your life is being, restricted. And therefore, how good for you can it be?
Mhm,
You know, with anything pretty much.
mhm.
And so we came across that uncontainable by any human description. That is like almost unheard of. I'm glad that this expressed it with those words. Like those are words of power right there.
Right, and it's releasing, because you don't have to
Absolutely.
accept those boundaries. And it's honestly, it's a fight. It's something that you step up to the challenge of every single day, especially when you're an entrepreneur, especially being a creator or being a writer. You're expressing when you do something, especially that is an expression that has to express outside of yourself, something that is an artwork that other people need to create, and kind of buy into.
Mm-hmm.
Part of that song and dance is slightly based on their opinion.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how do you separate, what's a real true opinion, your value of your artwork, or your value of yourself, or from actual,
Yes. I feel like you have to be consciously aware that this is the artwork being reviewed and not the self. Because remember, this said whatever role you're in, you're still more than that. And I love how it took, like, because a lot of humans, these are the only roles they ever know. And that is their
Mhm,
own life. And then they're out of here.
mhm,
So you have your job, mother, parent, healer, good person, strong person, always in control, daughter, teacher, guru, grandmother, and so on. That's a lot of people pleasing. These are people pleasing positions. It's really never about you.
mhm,
So you definitely don't want to get stuck in just those roles in life, because there's
mhm.
no way you can find yourself if that's all you're doing.
Yeah, because speaking of roles, it's like life is a role. You know what I mean? Like when you wake up every morning and you open your eyes up, you know what? The curtains lift up for you, and you got to treat the
It's
role you
showtime.
play. You want hell yeah, it's showtime, and you want to make sure that you're playing a true role because you're trying to get a standing ovation. You're trying to get a standing ovation in life, and not everybody's going to stand up and clap for you. Some of those people are going to sit down. They're not going to stand up and clap for you, but the real true standing ovation is knowing that you did well by God, or
And
you
you
did
gave it your
well.
best. Exactly.
Right, you know that what your higher purpose was, what you seeked out for, you actually delivered. You did your job that you came to do.
Exactly.
So sometimes roles, we want to be living our best role,
Right.
our
Living our
truest role,
best life, right?
right, for
That's
real,
part of living your best life.
for real, because you can't even live your best life if you're too busy trying to play a role that fits somebody else's description.
At all. At all.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's even harder to do that than just admitting, like, hey, I'm not good at this. That just brings me to something really deep too. Because sometimes we're in these roles and we're not good at it. What pressure that is
Mm-hmm.
to be a
Yeah,
mother and
because
not
there's
be.
some roles we can't avoid. There's just some
Oh,
roles
right,
we can't avoid. If you go to
right.
work,
That
you're
doesn't
playing
mean
your
you're good
damn
at
role.
it.
Yeah.
To be a mom and not be good
Yeah.
at it. To be
Mm-hmm.
an executive and not be good at it. There's some healers that's not good at it because,
Mm-hmm.
you could take that into it, let people drain them and they're not doing the work to replenish themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
the pressure of being a good person all the time.
All
Holy
the time.
crap. Who
Yeah.
wants that? That was so much fun. um, Let me see. The strong person. Who the heck needs that freaking pressure all the time? Dang, can't I get mad, jump up
That's
and scream,
way too
cry,
that,
and throw a damn
that's
tantrum?
way too much pressure right there. And then when you're the
Okay.
strong person, don't nobody want to check on you. You know what I'm saying? They be like,
That
oh,
means
she's
you gotta
fine. She
hold
does
all those volatile emotions inside. And then
Mm-hmm.
eventually someone's gonna bust. But you know
Mm-hmm.
what pressure that is to always be in control or to always let someone think that you're in control. What pressure that is. It's like
Yeah.
being a mom or being a person, that people look up to as wise. It's like if something that they seem is immature or you lose it or fly off the handle at them about something, it is what it is. It
Mm-hmm. That's
happens.
something I'm
It's
learning.
still
I'm
not enough
learning
to
more and
down
more.
yourself about. Exactly. To some people be
Word up.
deserving it though. They definitely be deserving it. It feels so good while you're doing it. And the guilt doesn't come until afterwards. You go and sit and think about what happened. Like, dang, I shut them down. Why
Word
you
up.
do that? Why you do that? See,
Right.
that's why they don't buy your shit.
Word up.
And I'll be like, dang, well, that's okay. There's a whole nother world out there. I don't need them.
Somebody
And
called
sometimes
me.
that's how you motivate yourself to keep going. Because, honey, people really want you to jump off the bridge. They be trying to
Yeah.
make you commit. Harry.
Yeah.
They be standing up there, jump, jump,
Yep.
jump, jump.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Remember
With the
in New York
popcorn.
City back
With
in
the
the day,
popcorn like this.
somebody losing it
Yeah.
on the roof. They got the
Okay.
popcorn. They like, come on, hurry up
Word
already.
up. They got the
Would you
popcorn on
end
like
it
this.
already? How mean. Oh my God. Society can be so mean. Oh my
Okay, but
gosh.
I pulled number 3 for that because that was, where am I? I'm losing my spot. 66, which
Mm-hmm.
breaks down to 12. So I pulled number 3, um, which brings us into creativity. Yeah, so number
For sure.
3 for
Always gotta have that.
creativity. Number 3 for creativity. Okay, so here we go. This card indicates a need to reconnect with your creative side to improve your quality of life and align yourself with source. By drawing this card, you are being encouraged to step out of your practical, logical mind and the seriousness of life in order to partake in lighthearted endeavors that are stimulating and fun. Playful creative expression is important because it raises your vibrations, which brings you closer to your dreams. This is time to immerse yourself. This is a time to immerse yourself in any creative endeavor that lifts your spirits and makes you feel good. It might take the form of playing a musical instrument, painting, writing, cooking, jewelry making, decorating, sewing, photography, landscaping, dancing, or designing. It doesn't matter what it is, and as long as it brings you joy. Through playful, creative expression, you can heal disharmony in your body and disharmony in your life. In order to improve your current situation, you're being asked to adjust to and harmonize with the natural rhythm and cycles of your life, cycles that are encouraging you to express your creativity. It's now time to use your imagination and see the world through the eyes of a child. We talked about that. For in rediscovering the creativity of your youth, you will rediscover the magic in your life.
Actually
What
wrote that
does it
this
say? I'm
morning.
sorry. Affirmation: through playful, creative expression, I make my dreams come true.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, I actually wrote something about having to be like a child. I think it had to do with the aspect of the higher love frequency,
mhm,
because children, they forgive easily, reconcile with each other. Little children, they
mhm,
usually they get through
mhm,
that fairly quickly, you know, and
mhm.
yeah, we definitely have to pay more attention to the little ones.
Yeah, because it's
That's
when
why they're
you're,
able to be happy, free, and creative, and it's because they don't have time to. They're not into the adult tainted mind yet.
yeah, because honestly, when you're in your, like for me, whenever I'm like in my adult mind, which my adult mind is worrying about things that I don't really know if it's happening. Like
Mhm.
I'm worried about what somebody might think of this. Can I say that? And I stifle what I might want to write or say or do because I'm putting restriction on sometimes also balancing between truth and what's right and what's wrong. Sometimes, like your own belief systems, sometimes, because when you write, especially what lyrically or poetically, you need to be able to, first off, be in tune to your light and your dark side. And sometimes you
Fact.
may write, you might want to
Know
hold
that you have a
yourself
dark
back,
side.
like, oh, I can't write that. And people might, but it's like, no, when I was a child, and I didn't know any better of how the world would try and stifle me, or how people, at this age, this girlfriend is going to do me dirty and say X, you know what I mean? Like, all of these expectations that come along with things now that life has showed you, you don't have that as a child. That's why they can create so high. And I realized when I totally remove myself out of my adult mind,
Mhm.
and I'm like, yo, there's no restriction. I'm not going to judge if there's something wrong with what I wrote right when I'm in the process of it, or if it's right. This is right now what is channeling through me. When I'm in
Right.
that child mode, I'm at my highest vibration. Like, you know what I mean? I'm encompassed in it and I'm able to really create freely. It's
Mhm.
only when I'm kind of stifled by like what the things that the world has shown me, as I've
Exactly.
grown, right? You know.
Yeah. Um, children, just them being around, you notice the energy is different, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. They lift the vibrations,
Mhm.
hearing them laugh, seeing them play. They say
Mhm.
the funniest things. They're so smart.
Yeah. Laughing, their little laughter
Hmm.
makes you
And they can
laugh.
do it even
I
through
can't see a little
writing.
kid laughing. I don't bust out laughing.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Mhm.
They bring a lot of joy and,
Yeah. I actually got a lot of that out of handing out the candy and stuff. Kids was too funny.
We don't really get trick or treaters through here. This neighborhood's too bougie, or I don't know what it is. They ain't
Oh
come
yeah.
from, you know, half fake bougie. You know what I mean? Like
Oh,
classy
take your
bougie
kids
rap-
to the
cla-
mall
classy
shopping.
bougie
They
rap.
go to the mall to the
Yeah,
Katina.
you
They
know.
still doing that, let them trick or treat at the malls.
I don't even know. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Probably, but I seen in Kingston they were
Think
doing
so.
all of these like they had like trick or treat trucks.
Oh wow.
Some people were smart, you know, they made creative a little something and
That's
you know,
interesting.
hand it out.
Good idea.
Yeah, it was
Cool.
cute. I seen a lot of kids taking their pictures next to the truck and getting their, you know, it wasn't the
Yeah.
same trick or treat, but
Yeah. It was probably all
Yeah.
decorated and everything.
yeah, and kids in their little costumes and
That's cute. I
Mhm.
mean, Halloween, Schmalloween, whatever. We call it All Saints Day. It's
Right.
something different for us, but it's actually okay. I feel like any day that brings laughter and fun and creativity and just the whole idea of I'm having an avalanche of books right now. Being what you want to be and for one day, for one day, you don't get judged for your outside appearance,
You're
right? It's
crazy.
just like one day everybody can be what they want to be.
Be whatever they
I-
want to be.
I think if anything that brings laughter and fun and excitement,
Expression.
creativity. Yeah. I was like, hey, I could do
Of
that
course, you got
day
some like
again.
messed up
I
people
could do
messing
this
that
day
day up.
again.
Yeah.
Too funny. But yeah, nowadays, anything that I would say at that time, the vibration of this side of the planet or whoever celebrated it was pretty high spirited. And it needed the atmosphere needed that. They got all these books. I just fell down.
I see him get my yawn on now.
Okay.
I said my yawn is coming in.
I know that's right. The cinnamon tea starting to work.
Okay.
You want to do a closer?
Okay, we'll lead them out with a closer. That's
Okay.
good timing, right? We're right at 12.
Oh wow! Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yes. Happy midnight.
Happy midnight.
Yes, indeed.
Start
We
up.
rolled all into till the next day because we putting in work.
Mhm.
We're putting in that work.
I'll work.
Okay.
Okay. I reloaded.
You pulling a card or you gonna read
Oh,
a
was
close?
it my turn? I think it's
It's
your
up
turn.
to
isn't it?
you. Okay. I'll do the last one going out.
I don't know. I don't know. I guess that was you, but go ahead. You do the last one going out.
All right. Let's see what we got here. Nice. Mother of life, nourishment of the golden grain mother. We going out with Big Mama. We going out with Big Mama once again. She reigns supreme.
She reigns
The goddess of
supreme.
10,000 names. She is the mother. Okay.
What did you
Yes,
say? Nourishment
indeed.
of what?
Nourishment of the golden grain
The
mother.
golden grain. That's what it was.
Golden grain. So let me get to read the
Golden
description.
grain. Woo! We talk about gold grain, baby.
Okay. Gold. and
Definitely
grain.
feeding the hungry with that.
Okay. Because yes, indeed, baby girl, right after this, I'm going to find me something to eat.
Word up. I'm definitely going to eat when I get off here.
Yeah, I actually waited. I didn't have dinner before we got on
Me either.
because I was doing so much work. I didn't stop
Mhm,
to eat, but I did do my
mhm.
smoothie stuff today. I
Okay.
did eat,
Let's
but it
do
was
my
much
smoothie
earlier.
today.
And I was just good all day. I'm actually good right now, but I'm
Wait,
going to eat my
I
good
didn't do my
food.
smoothie today. I did my herbs. I did some
Yeah.
fruit. I made me some salsa, like some tomatoes, onions, and
Mhm.
peppers, and all of that mixed up.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, so Mother of Life is number 109. Mother of Life, nourishment of the golden grain mother. We can sometimes fall into existing and doing rather than truly living. We only know that this has happened when suddenly our life seems dry, depleted, filled with tasks, or it feels like we are stuck in a rut or habit that may have been comfortable but is becoming stifling and suppressing. Isis, the mother of life, holds the ability to restore even the most numb, resistant, and difficult circumstances and people back into life. She calls to you now, seeking to bestow gifts of life upon you. Be bold and brave. Open your arms and receive. Isis is known as the sustainer of life, able to restore, nourish, and bring to life that which has been cast aside or lost, that which you have considered beyond repair, a lost cause, or deadened. There are parts of your life, beloved initiate, that are ready to receive more life. You will be able to recognize this in any discomfort that you are currently experiencing in your life. Discomfort and unfamiliarity is where life is attempting to break through to you, to reach through the walls that you may have once created to protect yourself, but that now you need to either climb over, demolish, or at least open up with some doors and windows. The tricky part is that most often we don't consciously realize that we are not living. It is not until we start to live more trustingly that it becomes obvious that we once were hiding ourselves from life. And life is calling you to partake more, so her gifts of experience, more of her gifts of experience. This oracle brings encouragement and guides you to learn skills and practices that nourish you and your community. You have the divine mother within you. How shall you offer nourishment through her? It might be through cooking, through learning to be more present in your body and taking time to express your feelings or reality. Or it might be through taking a dance or yoga class, spending time in nature or with animals, for example. Have you been thinking of joining a class or group, learning a new hobby or skill? The oracle of the mother of life is confirming that you are on the right track. So keep open to opportunities and further instincts about pursuing these matters. And know that if you are a bit worried that it is a stretch for you, then it is even more likely you are on the right track. Stay connected to your heart and give yourself permission to grow. This oracle also brings guidance that new people, places, and things will enrich your life in the near future. And if you have been praying for freshness, inspiration, and more fun, know that your intuition and urges to reach out and act in new ways are part of how your prayers are being answered now. A mother of life oracle also asks for patience. In the same way, there is a growth cycle required before a child can become an adult and tap into the energy of the mother within to nourish him or herself. So, to do certain life phases require patience as they mature. As you journey into the new life seeking you, you will need to be patient as you learn to grow. You will eventually become very comfortable with that which at first is distinctly uncomfortable. It just takes time, patience, not running away, and being present with yourself, just like the mother of life who never leaves you. She is always waiting for your return to her embrace as you open to the new unfoldment of experience in your life. Ashe, ashe,
Yay.
ashe. Yes, indeed.
Woo,
This
woo.
was the card.
Uh,
Yeah, and that's the winged goddess below it.
right. Okay.
She got it on her
Feeling it.
fire.
Feeling it.
That was a lot.
Oh
Woo.
yeah. Oh yeah. There was
But
so
it
much.
really, it actually really summed up everything we talked about in the show once
Everything.
again.
Yep. It really did. It talked.
Right.
It just hit some. It hit something
Mhm.
where it talked about patient growth, maturity, being present and not running away, and
Right.
taking the time to experience the experiences of your life.
And
And
allowing
sometimes that's
yourself.
what we do. We run away from the experiences of our life. We don't want to experience them, or we're afraid, or it's too painful. And so we don't remain present. And then now we see the backlash to not experiencing the experiences that we needed to go through, and that can turn into this whole like snowball of events to just lead you down into depression. And another thing you said here, where you said restoring numb and resistant circumstances of life. It's talk a lot about restoring that which has been lost, or parts of your life with, you know what I mean? Like
Or
it talked
deaden,
a lot
yeah.
about it talked a lot
Mhm.
about restoring, and it's like, anything that's lying dead or dormant in you that you feel has died or is gone, or that time is done, or that time is over. More life you
Mhm.
can still breathe life into that dream, or life into yourself. It's as long as you're here, you're still breathing.
Mhm.
There's still more life to be had, more life to be lived, experiences, and you can restore that has been dead, and you can renew, your vision,
Absolutely.
renew your faith, you know what I mean? So
Mhm.
there's just,
When
girl,
I read
we could
that,
do a whole thing just on this right here.
absolutely. Yes. When I read that part, it immediately took me back to the earlier conversation we had today about relationships and maturity on that part, and how we talked about, well, when you get a certain age, you would think that people would run it back and try to repair some broken relationships. But like I was saying, that just indicates that there's still more within work for that person to do,
Mhm.
and everybody is on a different level and got a different time. But when you're our age, we are aware that you need to hurry up and figure out what time it is.
For
Okay.
me.
And on that last note, I'm gonna eat my last sugar baby.
Okay. There it is.
My
There it
sugar
is.
daddy,
Number one,
rather.
sugar baby.
My
Okay.
sugar baby done turned into my sugar daddy.
Okay.
Honey, because Tiny 23 love the kids now.
Okay. Love the kids.
I eat the sugar daddy. I don't want to eat the sugar baby now.
Oh, you're not a sugar cougar. You ain't a cougar.
Nah, I ain't a Jeepers Creepers sugar baby eater. D, we gotta get going on the jokes one night too. We just gonna keep it flowing because we be on the floor. Oh my goodness. But yes, I had another marvelous time. with Katina, the healer. Definitely that was some healing information. Take your time, run it back, really listen to the things that we read and said, because all jokes aside, this is very rich and needed for such a time as this. Because understand, we're goddesses that call for such a time as this. We're just doing what we got to do.
Doing what we got to do.
With unconditional love, it just is what it is. And,
Right.
we're going to keep rolling like that. Absolutely. So we'll
So
see
I'm hoping
y'all
that you guys are
again.
like enjoying this, and you know what I mean, that people are can
Yes.
take something away.
Yes, absolutely. I'm gonna work on this technology thing because I ain't got time for no glitches now. We on the road. Ain't that a trip? Before we even started the show, my camera was not acting up.
And my book was on some hiding mess. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, there's nowhere it could possibly be. Like, this is my station. This is where I'm at. This is where I work. Like,
Exactly.
my book not
Yeah,
sitting
why
in
would
front of
just
me.
get up and take legs and walk, right?
Right. You know what I'm saying? I was like running
Then
around the
let
house.
me go hide.
You know,
I know that's right.
it worked out. Everything worked out.
Yes. See how the camera worked out too? Look, no, I ain't got no wood to tap on. But yes. All things work for them that love God, right? All things work for them that love the goddesses. Okay, for sure. Absolutely. What did they say? Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. Absolutely. I've learned in life, that's for sure. Absolutely.
Let it flow.
Yes, indeed. So until the next time, let people know how they can get in contact with you.
Okay, well, please check me out on my YouTube at Queen Katina. That's Katina. Check me out on Instagram, please, at Queen Katina the Healer. You can reach me you can email me at qkthehealer@gmail.com.
Yes.
That's about it right now. You can check me out on my Facebook too. You can check me out on my Facebook under High Chantel, because that's where you're going to see a lot of my products. Like if you check me out on Instagram, check me out on Facebook, you're going to see a lot more of what's going on. You can reach out to me there as well, or you could just email me under my QK the Healer. Check me out on my TikTok under Queen Katina too, but the Katina spelled a little bit different, Catina, with the last letter H for my last name. Check me out on my TikTok too, because that's where you're going to see a lot of the card work and, all of that stuff going on.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes. So don't forget to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel and share. That's how, we need your assistance there. You can find me. We're gonna live stream directly from the website, but we'll still be on YouTube one day. I want to begin to try that. And when they have the farmers market events and stuff like that, I might YouTube some live footage from there. But yeah, we're gonna figure it out and do a lot of stuff. But until then, we'll see y'all again next week, or whenever we feel like it, actually, but committingly to once a week. So today is Monday, probably next Monday, or we might see you on Friday. But just be prepared when you see the notification. If you subscribe, hit the bell so you get the notification, then you know when we're going live all the time. Yeah. Because sometimes the spirit will hit us and we're like, look, we definitely need to talk about this. Yeah. Because we've had so many episodes that didn't get recorded, but we've been having a lot of wonderful information going on. So we decided to make it happen. And once again, this is episode 2 Tonya 23, and Queen Katina, Queen Katina, the healer. Peace, love, as above, so below, y'all. Peace out. So I'll talk to you soon, sis.
All right, talk to you soon, sis.
Peace out. I'll hit you with the link soon as it's done
All right.
uploading.
All right,
Peace.
peace, everybody.
One.